Hi, this is Ken Ham, President and CEO of Answers in Genesis and the future Ark Encounter. Well, I just flew in from Australia yesterday and I certainly arrived home at a very interesting time. The state of Kentucky had just denied our latest application for a possible refund of sales tax collected at our Ark when it's finished. Now, of course, when the secular media and bloggers report on news like this, you're going to hear some bogus information. So let me explain what's really going on, what most media won't tell you. First, we were not asking the state for any taxpayer money to build the Ark Encounter. You know, if I had a nickel for every time I had heard that myth, I'd have enough money to fly to Australia and back. You see, AIG had reapplied for a possible refund of sales tax that would be collected at the finished Ark. Now, if the Ark would see excellent attendance and some of the sales tax paid by guests who were voluntarily visiting could be refunded up to a maximum. It's actually an excellent incentive offered to any tourist attraction thinking of locating in Kentucky. We even looked into building in Indiana, but Kentucky's incentive encouraged us to build here. Yet most secular bloggers and many in the media would have you believe that we're asking the state for money to complete the Ark. So let me say again, that's simply not true. Now, I should point out that the tax rebate, which is available to any tourist attraction, was going to be used in the future to offset some of the development costs over time. So it will negatively impact us. You see, this past spring, the state insisted that we withdraw our approved application and then submit a new application because our scope for the Ark had changed. It will now be built in phases rather than opening all attractions at one time. As we shared that with the state, we also told them that the ownership structure had changed. Today, AIG, through its subsidiary Crosswater Canyon, is the sole owner of the Ark Encounter. So AIG, as a religious organization, has the legal right to hire people who believe in our Christian faith, which is a right for any religious organization, whether Christian or not. Sadly, we now have people falsely accusing us of breaking our promise about hiring. As we reapplied for the incentive, the state surprised us with two conditions not found anywhere in the law. That is, one, we can't show religious preference in our hiring, and two, we couldn't share our faith at the Ark. Now, I should point out that the state has known all along that our Ark project was based on the Bible. It's always been a religious attraction. Furthermore, when our attorneys met with the state officials earlier this year, in July, we clearly explained the change in ownership structure and the need to preserve our rights as a religious organization, including the importance of not giving up our right to hire employees at the Ark Encounter who share our faith as allowed by law. This is important. In place of any restriction on religious preference in hiring, we agreed to comply with all applicable state and federal laws like those contained in other economic incentive agreements at the state, and the state agreed. And on this basis, the state granted its preliminary approval for the incentive. Only after the atheist groups objected and publicly attacked the state's preliminary approval did the state renege on its commitment. Now, the state's new conditions are clearly illegal. We can cite both federal and state laws that permit religious preference in hiring, like the 1964 Civil Rights Act. That's why atheist groups can and do discriminate in their hiring. Praise God, construction is well underway at the Williamstown site and it will proceed. You know, this employment issue is a matter of great importance not only to AIG, but to every Christian organization, to every church that doesn't want to give in to demands from the government to hire non-Christians. In fact, every religious organization should be worried at what the state of Kentucky is trying to do. Well, the AIG board is evaluating our legal options and we'll be announcing our decision soon. In the meantime, you can keep up to date on the progress of this exciting historical theme park by going to answersingenesis.org. Thank you.